This call is being recorded.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How you doing?
Good. Good.
Come on. Yes.
Amaria is puking and she's sick.
She's puking.
Yes, sir. She got it from Ayana because
Where's your mother?
Dad, me and Amaria are puking and have diarrhea.
Where's your mother?
She's in her room.
Well, what did she tell you to do?
She's trying to make Amaria better, but I only recently got sick and I threw up only once. So when I came out of the bathroom, she told me not to eat anything or drink anything. So I haven't done that. I assume she told Amaria the same thing.
Well, your mother's a registered nurse, so you're more blessed than about 95% of the rest of the black children in this country. A lot of black children in this country are not blessed to have a registered nurse as their mother at home. Do you know that if you're sick, that when you call or go to emergency room, generally speaking, you will see a registered nurse?
Yes, sir.
You don't always see the doctor. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Allah has blessed you with a mother that's a registered nurse. It don't get no better than that. You know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a personal registered nurse. So if you are sick, Allah has blessed you with someone, not only that's your mother, but someone that can properly medically care for you. She's a registered nurse. You know, so she told whatever instructions she give you, you follow them. Because believe me, if your mother going to help people she don't know get well, she's going to do more to help her own children. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, who appeared and is in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Well,
have you all been watching your videos and saying your prayers?
yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you a pass, Daim, if you want it, but I'm not going to require Maria or Daim to say their prayer in front of class today or present an Islamic video if they choose not to. Okay,
I was wondering, I mean, I can do it, but I might go to the bathroom a few times, and I can read Amaria for her, Amaria if she wants me to.
Well, we'll see how you feel after Rafiq and Kamal do their prayers, and if you're feeling up to it, we'll do you and Amaria last if you're up to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to teach a little bit because it looks like we're not going to have a full presentations today. Okay, Kamal, let Daddy hear you say your prayer, son.
Surely I affirm myself being upright to him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I'm not the politician. Hear my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death, so I'll pour out the Lord of the world. No social happy, this is my command, and I am those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been unjust to myself, and I confess my fault. So grant me protection against all my faults. Remember us to be false to thee, and guide me to the best of morals. Do none guide to the best of them but thee, and turn away from me the evil morals but thee. Amen.
All right. Rafiq, let Daddy hear you say your prayer, son.
Truly I assure myself, being upright to him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayer, my sacrifice, my life, and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has he, and this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults, for none grants protection against faults but thee. And guide me to the best of morals, for none guides to the best of them with thee, and turns away from me the evil morals with thee. Amen.
All right. Daim, you want to say your prayers?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Surely I affirm myself, being upright to him, who originated in the heavens and the earth, and I am not a polytheist. Surely my prayer, my sacrifice, and my life and my death are all for Allah, Lord of the world. No associate has he, and this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King, there is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been unjust to
I have been adjusting myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults, and I grant protection against falsity. And guide me to the best of morals, and none guide to the best of them but thee. And turns away from me the evil morals but thee.
Okay, very good. Is Amaria there or is she in bed?
She's here.
Okay. Sweetheart, do you want to say your prayers, or you want to just wait a while? You want to just do it next week, sweetheart? Or do you want to say your prayers?
Can you talk, Amaria? I'll bring the phone closer to her.
That's okay. Just let her relax, and she'll have to say her prayers. Okay. Who wants to present your Islamic lesson first today?
I'll go first.
Who's that?
Daim, I'll get it over with.
Okay, son. Let's tell the family in our Sunday school what Islamic video you watched and what you learned, and tell us about the video.
Yes, sir. I read your video. I watched your video called. It was titled "America Has Fallen," Part 1 of 2. It is said in the video in Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And in verse 2 it states, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." This concerns the prophecy of America plus her fall and destruction. In verse 2, it states that, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon is great. Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." In the place of Babylon is the statement. In this statement, it would be America. America gets its power from its constitution. Constitution is also used in reference to a person's health. Constitution means the physical makeup of the individual, especially with respect to the health, strength, and appearance of the body. The fall of America and its destruction are two separate things. The destruction will come after the fall. Just like if a glass bottle is falling from a table, it isn't shattered while falling, but it is going to be when it hits the ground. Since America has fallen, it will soon be destroyed. America no longer abides by its principles and virtues that are located in its Constitution. The respect for the Constitution is fading away rapidly every day. This means that America's health is getting weaker and weaker due to it ignoring its nutrients or what it needs, and that being its principles and virtues in its Constitution. America is suppressing its freedoms from the people, such as the freedom of speech and freedom of press. This is, for the most part, only for the black people, since it sometimes benefits white people. Black people aren't really citizens of America because we would not need the Voting Rights Act nor the Civil Rights. It shows that since Barack Obama has become the president of the United States, that America has fallen, not because of him, but because of the fact that they allowed him into office. If the Constitution was stronger, he would have most likely not have even stood a chance because he really isn't a citizen along with the rest of the black race. This also shows that America no longer has a constitution that protects its true citizens, that being white people. Now that this has happened, we are observing today America's destruction, which will take place over no more than a 20-year-old period. This will be between the years 2012 through 2032. God could take down America in a day or a few hours, but he is letting them deconstruct themselves with his help. Since no other nation has been able to defeat America, God will show the world that he is the only one with that kind of power and that he is the only one that can do it. He wants to bring America to its knees with the disgrace of trying to corrupt other nations. America is only able to corrupt other nations because of its currency being a dollar. The nations of the earth mourn in the 18th chapter in the book of Revelation because God destroyed America's financial power of trade. In chapter 18, verse 11, it states, "And the merchants of the earth shall sweep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more." Verse 12 states, "The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble." Verse 13 states, "And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense, and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beef and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men." In verse 15 it states, "The merchants of these things which were made by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing." Verse 19 states, "And they cast dust on their heads, and cry, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had shipped in the sea by reason of her costliness." In other countries, when the American dollar becomes weak, it causes problems for them. This shows that that they need the U.S. currency. When America is destroyed, it will devastate all other countries as well. I'm done.
All right, very good. Naeem talked about a very pertinent and germane lesson to what's going on in the time we are in. It's a very good presentation. He actually regurgitated the information and used examples that were not in the presentation, which I thought was very good concerning even the glass falling from the table. Even though the glass may be falling from the table, the glass is not destroyed until it hits the ground. And Diane pointed out very succinctly that the fall of America will take over a 20-year period. So by 2032, that's when America will hit the ground and shatter. It will go no longer than 20 years. Very good analysis and very good presentation of the lesson. You notice today, the president-elect, Donald Trump, his main theme for running for president of this country was to make America great again. Make America great again. Well, the question becomes, Mr. Trump, why are you trying to make America great again? His response will have to be because she was great, but she's not great now, and I want to make her great again. Well, if you have the president-elect of this country that ran on a platform to make America great again, that is an admission by the president that's about to take office next Friday that America has failed. She was great, but I'm trying to make her great again. This is right out of chapter 18, verse the entirety of chapter 18 of the book of Revelation. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told you in 1973. In 1973, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad published a book called The Fall of America. An entire book in 1973 telling you what was going to happen to this country. Matter of fact, he announced that America fell in 1973 under that publication. Now, so she had, and in that book, Fall of America, he cites the Revelation chapter 18. You know, of Babylon the Great is fallen. Why Babylon the Great? Who is Babylon? Babylon is America. Babylon is a child or the descendants of the country known as Great Britain came here. And so when you had the founding fathers from Great Britain come to the West and establish America, they did exactly what their forefathers did in Europe. They made Britain was a great country. Britain controlled the world and the seven seas. The British Navy since the Spanish Armada, the British Royal Navy ruled the seas back in the 19th and earlier centuries. and Great Britain was great. And she had a child called America, and America became great. But America fell in 1973. And now, here today, in 2017, at the beginning of War of Armageddon, you have the current president-elect announcing he wants to make America great again. Now, if the Bible, if the prophets of God tell you that Babylon has fallen or will fall, and you admit by virtue of your platform, Donald Trump, America, that you want to make America great again, then you are trying to defy the word of God. It was already prophesied thousands of years ago that this mystery country that would enslave Abraham's seed would fall. So Babylon has fallen. America has fallen. And now Donald Trump wants to make America great again. Even today, when you look at what the confusion in the heads of the government in Washington, D.C., they have, and I quote, a civil war in Washington. That is a news headline. If you watch the headline of the current president-elect, he is arguing and bickering with the media, and he has not taken office. They do not respect their own president-elect. Donald Trump is as American as apple pie. They show more respect to Barack Obama than they do to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is a white man. For this white man, for this country to disrespect an American citizen, a Caucasian man that has reclaimed the office after Barack Obama, for them to show such disrespect to a fellow white citizen shows you that this country has fallen. They do not respect their Constitution. They do not respect their electoral college. Their Constitution is weak. You have some of these people actually calling for martial law. You actually have people calling for electors to turn around their vote and not place the president-elect into power. For over 200 years in America, there has been a peaceful transition of power, starting from George Washington up till today. Barack Obama was the last president to have a peaceful transition. There has not been a time as today when you have a president-elect just fighting with the government, the Senate, the Congress, and even the media before the man gets in office, which means that the ruling class of white people are disunited. They are fighting each other. One moment. They are fighting each other. This is the fall of this country has failed. This country has failed. They are making up rumors and excuses that a foreign nation by the name of Russia interfered with their elections. All these political maneuverings and all these political motivations, no matter what excuse you have, they are Hillary Clinton. These black congressmen supporting Hillary Clinton. The entirety of the Democratic Party is not respecting their Constitution. The Constitution does not recognize Democrats. The Constitution does not recognize Republicans. We, I'll say loosely, or they, we are supposed to be all Americans. Where in the Constitution do you have this situation with Republicans and Democrats? That's something that came after the Constitution. What was George Washington? Was George Washington a Republican? Was George Washington a Democrat? Or was George Washington an American? George Washington was an American. But they don't care about being an American. The only thing they care about is winning. The only thing they care about is getting their way. They don't care about what their Constitution says. They don't care about their heritage and their history. When the children forget the history and heritage and respect of their forefathers, you are witnessing the fall of a nation. what will tie the American white people together if they don't respect the document that was here for 200 years, that gave them freedom, that gave them wealth, and made them the most mightiest nation on the planet? America is number one. America rules the world, and these people are not respecting their own constitution. This country has fallen. Like I said, this is Sunday school. I'm not, I've been preaching for 7 years, and far as I'm done. But that was the Spirit talking there. All right. Let's see who wants to present next.
Okay, Kamal.
Well, okay. I don't know who to choose. It seems like Rafiq is trying to become as thorough as Kamal. So maybe we ought to have Kamal go again. Come on, Kamal. Tell Daddy and your family what lesson you read and what you learned, and share with us what you gained from your lesson this week.
Yes, sir. The video I watched is called The Killing of Mike Brown. The Judgment is Now, 4-6. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, when the cities are set on fire, these are signs of the judgment taking place. That's coming here. It's even on the news. There's destruction. The cities are on fire. When you see the cities on fire, the judgment is taking place. Well, you might be confused. This is going to happen in the future. When the Honorable Elijah Muhammad died, he left us a message. When the city is on fire, the judgment is taking place. Where in the judgment, there are rumors and wars in the east as well. There are consequences of rejecting the word of God. There are going to be more and more black people being killed and in the streets that are murdered, and no salvation is coming to them. Now, you think the New World Order is going to bring down America and come for us. And like Bill Gates says, we need to bring down the population a little bit. Who do you think he's talking about? It's not the white folks, it's black people. There are more blacks than whites. White people are more wealthy as well. They don't want to get rid of the wealthy people. And there are about 600 million white people on Earth. Do you think people in those military coffins are white people? Now, there was a great white man in Germany named Adolf Hitler. He had concentration camps, railroads, and pathways. Were those things for the Germans? Those were for the Jews. Do you think white folks are going to kill white folks? If Satan casts out Satan, how does his kingdom stand? They have military forces base camps. They have military that's 70% black. They have military waiting to kill them. They had a black guy with a knife in his hand, and these white officers killed him. They didn't take him down and bring him to jail. They just killed him. White folks will look for any excuse to be innocent. That's it.
All right. Very good, Kamal. Okay, Rafiq. What lesson did you read? And share with us what you learned from your lesson this week.
All right. I did mine on the video. Here is Wisdom 666, Book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 18, part 2. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay. So I'm going to begin with the moon. In the year 1930, Master Farad Muhammad came to America to teach the black people who they are and their history. Before he was ordered out of the country, he personally taught Elijah Muhammad about the history of black people, mainly concerning the knowledge of themselves. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught on the moon in the 1930s, and his work was published in the 1950s. Now, NASA didn't reach the moon until 1969, so the information that came from Elijah, the information that he received, came nearly 40 years earlier than the white people reached the moon. Now, Elijah taught us that the moon was originally part of the earth. As we're taught, 66 trillion years ago, a black man wanted everyone on earth to speak the same language. When he couldn't accomplish that, he became enraged and decided to blow up the Earth and everyone on it. So what he did is he got a drill, and he drilled a tube into the Earth towards the center of the Earth, and he filled that up with dynamite. The dynamite that this black man used was 30% more powerful than the dynamite used today, so it was more explosive. When he set off this explosion, the Earth split, and 1/3 of it was blasted out into space. Today, that part of the Earth is now called the Moon. When this part of the Earth was being blasted off, it turned over and all the water on it fell back to Earth. And that's why you only see one face of the moon, because when it blasted off, it was spinning, and the side that it stopped spinning on is the side that's still facing us today. Okay, so everyone that was on that part of the Earth was killed, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we were very lucky to survive that explosion. He also taught us that before the moon was blasted into space, the planet Mars used to be our moon. Now, all of this information was taught to us 40 years before NASA went up into the moon in 1969. And what did NASA find out? Well, astronaut Buzz Aldrin said that the moon smelled like moon dust. I misheard that. Buzz Aldrin said that the moon dust smelled like ashes, and astronaut Gene Cernan said it smells like burnt gunpowder, or just gunpowder. Now, why the heck would the moon smell like ashes or gunpowder? Well, in short, because it was blown up and torn away from the Earth caused by dynamite. So what NASA did is they tested the moon dust, and they told us it was composed of silica, or powdered silicon dioxide, which is the elements silicon and oxygen. Modern gunpowder is a mixture of nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin. But originally, the first dynamite or gunpowder was nitroglycerin absorbed into dry silicon or silica. The explosive part of the dynamite is the nitroglycerin, and the silicon powder in dynamite stabilizes the explosive. Nitroglycerin is a very dangerous explosive liquid, so when you mix it with powdered silicon, it becomes a paste that becomes more stable and more safely ignited. When set off, the nitroglycerin is completely consumed by the explosion, and what you are left with is the powdery silicon residue, or moon dust. So the moon dust is residue of the dynamite that was used to blow up the Earth. Getting back to the astronauts, Buzz Aldrin described the moon as magnificent desolation. Now the word desolation, if you look it up, it means devastation, ruin, the state of being forsaken or abandoned, or wretchedness and misery. The reason he described the moon as magnificent desolation is because he was walking around in a massive graveyard. If the moon was blasted away from the Earth, millions of people died when it was blasted and torn away. So what did Buzz see? He saw bones and skeletons of millions of human beings that died there. So what he was really saying when he said he saw magnificent desolation is that it was great desolation. Because when something's magnificent, it's great. So he said great desolation. And if we go back to the earlier definition of desolation, he said it meant misery. So what this astronaut was really saying is he saw great misery. So when you listen to people like astronauts or other people that run the world, you kind of just have to listen to what they're saying, because they know what they're saying. But the general public isn't going to understand what they're saying. There's also a leaked NASA photo that shows a picture of a human skull on the moon. And NASA claimed that this is the first time man ever set foot on the moon was in 1969. But that claim doesn't match up with, the facts, because, there's a skull on the moon. That's just one of the leaked photos. That's the end of my presentation, but I also want to talk a little bit about the Mars being or Mars used to being our moon?
Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a scientist that gave a presentation. I forget what the school is. It was a very notable school, and he even said
Yale.
that
The school is Yale.
okay, yeah,
Ivy
he's
League.
from Yale. I'm sorry, you can go to that.
The school is Yale, which is the Ivy League school. That's where you get your presidents. Yale and Harvard and another one, I think Cornell. The Ivy League schools where the majority of your presidents come from. Go ahead. But it's Yale.
Now, he said that the moon wasn't the present moon that we have right now wasn't always our moon. This is in the second video, by the way, in part 3. But he said that we didn't always have this moon, and that we used to have a different moon, but it was a distant planet that's no longer here. Now, some of that's true. The part where our moon, our present moon, not being our moon that I'm sorry. The part where he said that our present moon hasn't always been our moon, that's right. But the part where he said it used to be a planet that's no longer here is incorrect. Now, this wasn't in Dad's video, but he said this because if he were to say that it was a planet, if he straight out said that our moon used to be Mars, then people would have to ask the question of, well, how come we have a moon now, and how come Mars isn't our moon anymore? And then, he'd have to answer that question, and the only way he can answer is with, not our theory, because this isn't a theory, it's facts, with our facts, and he'd have to teach on what the Nation of Islam has been teaching. And, they don't want to tell us the truth because, they're evil, and they don't want us to know the truth. So he lied about it, about saying that we used to have a moon that's no longer here, that we don't know what planet it used to be. It used to be Mars, but he couldn't tell us that because, there's no way he could answer any questions regarding that without using our teachings from the Nation of Islam. The end.
All right, very good. The Here's Wisdom video Rafiq covered concerning that. Not too much I can say other than a few things about Mars, and I'll get to my portion of the presentation. Per the request of Amaria, she wants Sunday school to go a little longer. I'm not going to keep you long because I got 7 years of teaching, so I'm only going to say a few words. Anyway, some of the other things that this white man, I forget his name. It's been a while since I made a video, but he is a professor, a doctor at Yale University. He gave a presentation, from what I can see, all white people. Anyway, what he said about Mars was this. He said Mars, half of the planet of Mars is cratered. Has a lot of craters and a lot of things, like a lot of activity is on one side of the Mars. A lot of craters and holes and things like that. And then he said on the other side of Mars it's very smooth, like nothing touched it. And he said, matter of fact, the other side of Mars that's untouched is the smoothest surface in our planetary system. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what he said, this was his lie or his explanation concerning Mars. Also, one more thing. He said that you have the radiation of Xeon, I think it's beginning with XE. It's been a while since I've seen the video. But he said, that basically you have a nuclear radioactive substance on the air of Mars. Now, his explanation on why half of the planet of Mars is cratered, because he said that there is evidence that there was a planet between Earth and Mars that exploded and then disappeared. That was the devil's explanation. So the devil admits, well, Mars was next to a planet that exploded, but that planet is no longer around. That's the lie. The only planet that's next to Mars even today is Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun, and Mars is the fourth planet. And the only thing that's between Earth and Mars is that moon. Now, if you go to the chapter 54 of the Holy Quran, it tells you that the hour drew near and the moon was rent, torn asunder from Earth. We were told this in 1931 by Master Farad Muhammad. See, that's the way the devil tricks you. He will tell you, if you don't already know the truth, you can't unravel the lies of the devil. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So he'll tell a half truth. You know, it's almost like a wink wink. He's talking in code. This man read the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Believe me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only black man in America that in 1959 the president sent a presidential motorcade to pick that man up from Uline Arena to go to Uline Arena. He was given a presidential escort down Pennsylvania Avenue. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The only people that they give presidential escorts to are heads of state. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was born in Sandersville, Georgia. He was an ex-slave of America named Elijah Poole. He only went to the 3rd grade, moved his family to Detroit, you know, work odd job trying to support his family. Elijah Muhammad, basically, he wasn't nobody. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But Elijah Muhammad claimed that he met with God and was taught by God for 3.5 years. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He preached for 44 years, approximately 43 years, of the destruction of America, and he called all white people, not some, he called all of them devils. He called them no good. And he started teaching this in 1931. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And in 1959, that white man in the White House sent that black man a presidential escort from the Washington Airport to Uline Arena in D.C. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
They only do that for heads of state. Ask Jesse Jackson. Ask Al Sharpton. Ask Bishop T.D. Jakes. Ask any of these ask the head of the NAACP. Ask any of these black leaders that you heard of, Martin Luther King, anybody. Has any other black man from this country got a presidential escort down Pennsylvania Avenue? But they did that for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, if the white rulers, the president, if the white rulers of this country will give that man that kind of respect, and they knew that this man is calling them devils. They knew that this man is talking about the destruction of America. They knew that this man said there's a mile-wide UFO flying above this planet that's going to destroy America in 12 hours. They gave that man a presidential escort down Pennsylvania Avenue. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The white man not going to tell you, well, hey, black folk, y'all need to listen to him. He's telling y'all the truth. The white man can't do that. It's not in his nature. He can't do it. He's too proud to do something like that. So the best thing he can do, the best way he can recognize God's man is through non-verbal communication. Billy, y'all go down there and give Mr. Muhammad a presidential escort down D.C. He's in our capital. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But our people are asleep. They don't look. They don't pay attention. They too busy watching football. They too busy watching basketball. They too busy out at the mall shopping in the mirror. They're not paying attention to nothing. Well, I'm back. You know. So anyway, but back to that the planet Mars. The point I'm making is this. These white folks know the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the truth. And in that video, here is Wisdom 666 Part 6, Part 2, as presented by Rafiq. Here I found a video. You ain't gonna find. I doubt you can find it today, but I got my hands on it. These white folks up there in Yale University off in a corner whispering to each other. Even when you watching the video, it ain't nothing but that white man in an auditorium with other white folks, and when he's talking about Mars and this planet that blew up, he's almost whispering. Am I lying, Rafiq?
No, sir.
You got a white man at Yale University, and when he starts talking about Mars and the planet that blew up, he almost begins to whisper. That's how dangerous the truth is. They don't want black people to find out, wait a minute. You mean we who? We're gods. This our planet. We create the universe. That kind of knowledge is dangerous. And that's why I am a problem. Believe me, this white man looking at me. Trust me. I was in Connecticut, speeding in my 18-wheeler. I mean speeding. Caught dead-handed. I got pulled over. That devil came up to my truck, looked at me, saw my name, and told me to have a nice day. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
These white folks know who I am. And the only reason I'm putting it in your face I'm a son of man, because you got a lot of black leaders out here fronting and perpetrating, like Louis Farrakhan, that boy in Mississippi, talking about he the son of man and he gonna say white people and white people better stop being racist. And Uncle Tom and Louis Farrakhan in October claiming to be the Messiah. Man, 84 years old and gonna wait till 2016 to tell us he's the Messiah. This other boy in Mississippi pushing 70, talking about he the most high, been here for almost 50 years. Talking about he's Messiah and the judgment has not come. According to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, when the Messiah appeared, the judgment will be 20 years. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Louis Farrakhan been a Muslim, been in the Nation of Islam since 1955. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Farrakhan been hanging around for 62 years. 62. Does that sound like the Messiah to you?
No, sir. No, sir.
Marvin Muhammad in Mississippi been teaching since 1976, 1975. That's 42 years. The judgment of the Lord, the judgment of the Son of Man, is only 20 years, according to our Savior has arrived by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Does that sound like the Son of Man to you? You've been talking about you gonna judge the world, and you been here, you pushing 50 years? Does that sound like the Son of Man to you?
No, sir.
No, that ain't the Son of Man. I'm the Son of Man. Look what's happening. America is falling. They don't even know if Donald Trump gonna get assassinated before next Friday. This country's gone. The dollar is weak. I'm on time. And what the book tell you what's going to happen to those elders that rejected Moses, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. They were cursed to wander in the wilderness of North America for 40 years until they died. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The only thing that's going to happen to this Farrakhan fella is one of two things. Either he going to bow to me, meaning bow to Master Farah Muhammad, under my direction, or he's going to die. That's it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm in Chicago. These boys around here calling this man the Messiah. Farrakhan, the Messiah. What is he doing for you and me? Been around since 1955. Where's your black city at? Do you have anything? Where's your schools? Where's your farms? Talking about you, Messiah. You been here for 60 years, you ain't got a black hospital? Where's your black businesses? Where's your salvation? Only thing you doing every week is taking the people money and living high on the hog. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Or that boy down there in Mississippi, taking people money, got a bunch of women he called wives, sleeping around with the women and their teenage daughters, claiming he the Son of Man, claiming he gonna save you. Save you from what? And with what? What has he given you?
The only thing that Negro does is take and take and take and take. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many people does this false Christ in Mississippi? How many people gave this man their retirement? How many of these people sold their homes and their cars and gave this man all of their money? And they're stuck. They can't leave because they got nothing. They had retirements. They had homes. They could have lived the American dream. But here goes this false Christ claiming to be the Son of Man and took all their money. And now they can't leave Mississippi because they ain't got nowhere to go and they're too old. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
You don't know how close I am to going down there and breaking that man's neck. But Allah don't want me to do that. But that's what I feel like doing. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I went down there to Luna, Mississippi, took my black BMW, went straight there, parked next to that red Corvette, and that nigga wouldn't come outside. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
How in the world you the Son of Man and you a coward? I wish to God that somebody would come in front of my home or somebody I'm visiting and call me out, and I'll stay laid up in the bed with my girlfriend or with somebody I'm calling my wife. This man outside my door calling me out, and I won't come outside. Does that sound like the man of God to you?
No, sir.
These are a bunch of hypocrites. A bunch of hypocrites. No, that's not no Son of Man. What the book say? The foxes have holes, the birds in the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the interpretation of that scripture? Well, what's a hole? A fox has a hole. A bird has a nest. That's called a home. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the scripture is telling you that the Son of Man does not have a home. He's homeless. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That just don't go for the Son of Man individually. That goes for the Son of Man as a nation. Black people in America, we don't have a home. This is not our country. We didn't draft that Constitution. When that Constitution was being written, we were slaves. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So America is not our home. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But how else do you know that these fellas ain't the Son of Man? One moment. The book, let me give you a higher understanding of that. The book says the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Listen to me very carefully. Because I'm going to say this as gingerly as I can, because you are children. Let me tell you something about where you lay your head. When a man, first of all, the teachings is that the woman is a man's heaven. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is the teachings. A woman is a man's heaven. The other thing that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, that the woman or your wife is Allah's gift to the man. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
A woman is a gift. The Muslim sister or the Muslim woman is a gift to you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So according to the teachings and the divine sayings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a woman is a gift and a woman is your heaven. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Where does God live?
Heaven.
God lives in heaven, don't he?
Yes, sir.
So God's home is heaven. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go back to that scripture. The scripture says the foxes have holes, the birds in the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Believe me, children, when you grow up and you get a job and you start working, I mean working hard every day, let me tell you something. When you have a wife, when you come home and you lay your head on the breast of your wife or in the lap of your wife, that's when you can sleep. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not telling you something I don't know. I'm telling you something that I know. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All those years I was with your mother. When I came home from whatever job I had, it could have been when I was practicing law or changing oil from Walmart. I would lay down in your mother's lap, and she would pull her hair, but I would lay in her lap and go to sleep. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Even my most recent relationship, you know, it ain't always about sex. It's about rest. When I'm with a woman, I want to lay on her lap and go to sleep. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When my mother was alive in Detroit, I would lay on my mother's lap and get some sleep. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not going to experience a deeper and more peaceful sleep, in my opinion, than when you are in the lap of your mother or your wife. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
When you are laying your head in the lap of your mother or in the lap of your wife, you are in what's called a heavenly condition, a condition of total peace and surrender. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, the book says the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It tells you that Son of Man ain't got no woman, meaning Son of Man not going to be with no woman that's not going to submit. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
The Son of Man is not going to compromise who he is or his manhood because he's with a rebellious woman. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. And if you talk to any man, they will tell you, submission is sweeter than sex. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Say it. Submission is sweeter than sex.
Submission is sweeter than sex.
Let me prove it to you. Now, you got a lot of black women working in banks. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You got a lot of black women in high positions in business, in finance, in the military, in colleges. Most of our women, in comparison to the men, get further ahead in the white man's civilization. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, what happens? What happens when the black woman gets this promoted job at the bank? She becomes the president. She becomes an officer in the Navy. She becomes a TV mogul like Oprah Winfrey. The white man give Oprah Winfrey billions and billions of dollars. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But the white man, Oprah not dating. Oprah not messing around with white men. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of your women that work at these banks, a lot of your women that's making advancement in the corporate and military world, they're not necessarily sleeping with white men. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let me tell you what the white man gets out of that. Your woman submits to him. When that white man walks in the room or that white man smiles at that black woman, or your woman working for him, she giggles. She's excited. She submits to him. And any man wants that. When a woman submits to you, that's sunshine. That's called power. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the white man, he walks in the sunlight of your black woman. He receives the power of submission from her. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He don't go home and have sex with his wife at home. He'll do that because that act only lasts a few minutes. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But for 40 hours a week, your woman, my sister, your mothers, my daughters, our daughters, go and work for this white man and give him the sweet scent of submission for 40 hours a week. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
There was a great football coach who had just won the Super Bowl. And he made this statement. He said, winning the Super Bowl is better than sex. He said, sex will last you 15 minutes, but winning the Super Bowl, man, that lasts all week. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
When you grow up and you you start being boys, when you grow up and you become a man, you're gonna understand these things. It's about submission. It's about control. It's about power. This is the mindset and the goals of any king or any man in power. It is submission. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
The black woman in this country is rebellious. The black woman in this country bows and giggles and laughs and is sweet and obeys the orders of the white man. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is called war. This is called war. I am not going to take a woman that the white man has reared. I am not going to take a woman that submits and that has a submissive spirit and eyes for that white man. I don't care if she's not even sleeping with him. This is war. No, the black woman is going to be sweet and submit to us. The black man. The black woman is going to giggle for us. The white is going to be excited to see a black man walk in the office. Do not settle for a woman that will not submit to you. I don't care how beautiful she is. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
We want, and we will have utter and entire submission. This is nothing new for the black woman. She's been doing it for the white man for 400 years. 400 years. He's been doing it. He's been training our woman. One moment. For 400 years, this man has been going in and out of our woman when we were powerless. When we was out there picking cotton. If that white man decided he wanted to go sleep with your wife, guess what? That's what he did. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
This went on for 400 years. You outside picking cotton, you come back to your cabin, and you hear crazy sounds coming from your bedroom, and Master walks out zipping up his pants, and your wife is laying in the bed crying. And you couldn't do a damn thing about it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This went on for 400 years. Anything that you do for 400 years is a very, very hard habit to break. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We have to break our women. Our women, by nature, by psychological inducement, loves and submits to this white man. She's been doing it for 400 years. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. The Son of Man is woman. The woman of the Messiah. Black women in general in this country submit to that white man. And so the Son of Man, your father, has declared war against this white man. She is going to honor, respect, and worship us, not him. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
But what is Louis Farrakhan doing? What is Mark Muhammad? He don't care. He just wants some money. He just wants to sleep with that woman that honors the white man, don't honor the black man. He's just thinking about himself. He ain't thinking about the rest of the black nation, the rest of the black men, the rest of the black kings. He's not trying to correct the women for the black kings. He's in cahoots with that white man. The black woman will submit and honor that white man, and as long as he can sleep around and have a few women of his own, he don't care about you and me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But the Son of Man does care. I want women to submit to us. That's our woman. That's our queen. Matter of fact, she ain't got no business around that white man. That's why we got to kill that white man. Meaning, I'm going to speak the word, and Master Muhammad's going to destroy him. The black man is going to be worshipped forever. Master Farah Muhammad is going to show you the power of the black man. This is war. Are there any questions?
Did Marvin name us?
Marvin Muhammad gave you your Muslim name. Marvin Muhammad named all of you. He did not name Amaria. I named Amaria. But when Marvin Muhammad gave you those names, Allah spoke through him because you all got unique names. Daim was the first Daim in the New Nation of Islam. Rafiq was the first Rafiq there. So I kept those names because they are good names. He gave me my name, Muhammad. But Allah works through people. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Just like Daim. When the Son of Man was awakened in 2009, the voice of Allah came through my son Daim. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Allah works through people. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
When your father was anointed in 2009, that took place in Virginia. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
My anointing took place in Woodbridge, Virginia. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Allah spoke words to me that I cannot even utter or repeat, and he placed his hand upon me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That was done through a woman that I was dating in 2009. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And she don't even remember what happened or what she said. I've asked her repeatedly, what did you say? She doesn't remember. The point I'm making is this. Allah works through people. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Allah is able, believe me, Allah is able to force every person, there are over 7 billion people on the planet. Allah can make at the exact same time, Allah can make everybody on earth get to their knees and bow their heads, and he can make everybody say whatever he wants. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Allah is powerful. Allah does what he wants, when he wants, and through whom he wants to do it. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
But Allah wants to show this white man something. The white man is not nothing to Allah. But Allah wants to show his power through his son, the Son of Man. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't have that kind of power. But I do have that kind of power. Why? Because I submit to Master Farah Muhammad. He is my God. He is whom I adore with all my heart, all my mind, all my spirit, all my soul. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the Son of Man, I am very, very, very powerful. Believe me. I don't have the power to make every knee bow on this earth, but I have power with God to do it. And at the appropriate time, the only thing I got to do is speak the word. Because according to the book of Psalms, chapter 2, the only thing that the Son of Man has to do is ask the Father, and it is granted. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
These boys up here joking around, talking about they the Messiah, joking around, talking about they the Son of Man of Mississippi, and they don't pray to Master Farah Muhammad. You a fool. I'm going to follow you the Son of Man, and you not telling me about Master Farah Muhammad, Marvin? Oh, you the Messiah, Farrakhan, and you not telling me to pray to Master Farah Muhammad? You a false Christ. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is going to be the showdown. This is going to be the showdown. The messenger told you that the forces of nature will be ordered to fight on the side of the Son of Man. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
So if you really want to know who the Black Messiah is, if you want to know who the Son of Man is, if you want to know who the Christ is, it's that man that has control and influence over the weather. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I am slowly coming into power. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I had that particular sister in Virginia call me. Because at one point, only thing this woman had to do was cut the TV on. If there was a tornado or earthquake or ice storm, she would call and say, Kevin, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Texas, or I'm in Oklahoma, or I'm just going to Ohio. She could track wherever I was in the country by just watching the Weather Channel. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Let's see if Farrakhan can do that. Let's see if Marvin can do that. Cut on the TV and find out what Marvin Muhammad is. Look at the weather report and tell me where these false Christs are. Look at the weather report. I bet you you'll have an easier time finding your daddy than any other false Christ. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
But sunlight is subtle. It ain't gonna be so obvious. When the sun rises, it gets gradually more light. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It is the same with the rise of the Black Messiah. It is the same with the rise of the Son of Man. It's not going to just happen in 1 second. It's going to take place over time. It's going to be very, very gradual. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Well,